Now, if you are looking to buy a new launch property today, then this video is very important. Why? Because I'll be sharing with you the dangers of balloting and booking during that day itself. So stay tuned and watch this video. Hi everyone, I'm Gaynor and welcome to my YouTube channel where I provide property solutions to investors, buyers and sellers. So if you are new to this channel, please remember to help me click the subscribe button. So before we actually dive into the dangers of balloting and booking, there's something I really need you guys to understand, right? For Singapore residential market, there are actually two different types. One is the resale market and the other one is actually the new launch market. So for the resale market, is where, if you are a buyer today and you buy a resale property, most likely you'll be able to get the property within the next 2 to 3 months after the completion. Whereas if you buy a new launch, today if you buy, you probably have to wait for 2 to 3 years before you are able to collect the keys, right? And this is something really important. The date is where you are very, very concerned with, which is the TOP date. Right, so basically to make it very simple for you guys to understand, for new launch, you are just buying an empty land whereby the developers promise you a certain date, like 2 to 3 years before they are able to hand over the property to you. So if you can really look at my screen now, there will be this phase whereby, and there will be an empty land where the developer will actually bid from the government, right? And once they got it, they will actually, submit all the approvers to get the approvers from the authorities before they are able to build or before they are able to construct. And after they got the approval, the very next thing is they will set up the show flat. Now, this is where you as a buyer will be given around, 2 weeks whereby the show flat will be there open. You as a buyer will go there to visit, to see, this project, where is the location, stuff like that. What are the materials that the developers will be giving to you, like the kitchen top, the cabinets, stuff like that. And you also want to understand what the facilities that the developers are building in that particular project, right? So it will be probably around a 2 weeks period. Now, the biggest thing is if you are interested to buy, right, you will actually need to come to the next phase whereby you will want to submit the checks so that you can proceed to go for the balloting and booking, which is today what I'm really trying to share with you guys, the dangers of balloting and booking and what are the common mistakes that buyers generally make. So that's why I want you to stay tuned in this video right to the end so that you will understand where I'm coming from. The next thing is important is that why are buyers making mistakes during the balloting and booking? And there's this thing I want to point out, this very important thing is it is unknown, as in the price. The price will not be released to you guys during the viewing of the show flats. The price will only be released when you are doing the balloting and booking. So because there is an unknown price, that's where there is some form of pressure because you don't know the price and you have been waiting there. And when the developer announce or give you the price list, that's where you will look at it whether, can I buy or should I not buy, stuff like that. And it will only be given during the balloting and booking day. And that's why my next point is, because of this, there will be a pressure of losing out. Why? Because generally, if this is a very popular project that you are going for, probably there will be only 600 over units or 700 units available. But the checks submitted, the interest is too high. Probably 1,000 over people are interested and 1,000 over people are around there for the balloting. And that's where if you got a not so good balloting number, then you will face a lot of pressure. Why? Because when you are there, and every time you will hear this thing, block, blah, 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 unit number is sold, right? Every minutes, this will be announced. And you will be sitting there and you will probably feel a lot of pressure because the particular block and unit is something that you want to buy. And it is like every second is taken, this level is taken, that level is taken. And you probably will face this pressure. And that's where my third point is emotions will run high and low. Right, and you will feel very excited, and each time you see the elevation chart, which is the available list, and these numbers, the units that you want has been always been taken away. And if only when you are at the your balloting number is really right far back. That is where a lot of buyers will most likely buy the wrong unit at the wrong price. Now, can you imagine this? If you are an investor and you bought the wrong unit at the wrong price, then this will be very critical because you wouldn't want to make this mistake. Or probably even you want to buy for your own stay. And there's this particular block or this particular stack that you are only interested. But this whole stack is taken and you're forced to see other available units. And that's where your emotions run really very high. Should you buy? You should not buy? Stuff like that. And the next slide, I want to give you a case study. And this case study, I want to show you guys what do I mean by that. And for this instance, I'm actually using this Park Colonial as a case study. So I want you to put yourself into this situation whereby, today you want to go to Park Colonial and you're going for the balloting, right? And you are only looking for an investment and you want to buy a 2-bed 1 toilet which is 603 square feet. And your price range is only 1.05 million. But the unlucky thing is that you got a very bad or not so good queue number, which is probably at the 800 or 900, stuff like that, right? When your queue number is called, right, you realize that this whole stack, which is stack 16, right, is all fully sold. And the only available ones are probably this stack 48. Right, if you really see at my screen, stack 48 is available and it's also a 2-bed 1 toilet at 603 square feet. But the thing is that it is 1.15 million, which is $100,000 more expensive. So the question I want to ask you is, would you buy or you would not buy, right? And I've seen people where, of course their budget can go higher. And I've seen people that because the pressure of losing out, they'll be waiting there for the whole day. And that's where, they will look at what are the options and at the end, they will buy. And they will buy a unit that is of a different facing, which can be more expensive by $100,000. So if today you are an investor, this is something that you really, really have to take note and analyze whether should you buy or you should not buy. So this is a case study that I want to share with you guys, which is I think it's really very important. So at the end of the day, what is the recommendations that I want you guys so that you guys are well prepared? The very first thing is that you have to work out the units that you want. Meaning to say, I want this block, this stack. So you need to give yourself as many choices within your price range, right? Which is the price range that you are willing to buy. And you got to tell yourself, if I couldn't afford the other price range, which is $100,000 to $200,000 more, then I will stop. I will not want to buy and I will not want to proceed. And you have to stick to what you want. And that's why at the end of the day, this is something very important. Your objectives must be clear. Are you buying for own stay or are you buying for investment, right? And if you're buying for investment, you need to know what is the price range you're buying. Now, of course, if you're buying for own stay, then that can be a different issue because maybe you can afford more and you probably really want a better unit which can be more expensive, but you're fine with it. So it depends. Your objectives must be clear. So at the end of the day, probably I hope that you guys really, enjoy this video because this is something I really want to share with you guys. Now, of course, if you have any questions and you want to ask me in this channel, you probably can put in the comment section and I will answer your questions as well. So hope you guys enjoy this video and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!